Imagine for a moment that you are a man standing at the side on a track. You have a lever. There is a train coming, or a trolley. And this track divulges into two paths. On track A is a man tied to the track, and on track B is 5 men tied to the track. The trolley is headed towards track B and will kill these 5 men. Do you, possessing the power to pull the lever, change the outcome? You kill the 1 man to save the other 5 men. This, of course, is known as the trolley problem, and today we're doing a variation of it. Imagine for a moment that you are a man and you see another man who is quite voluptuous, very large, very big, a fat man, if you will. You were stood on a bridge above a track, and on this track is a train, a trolley, if you will, that's heading towards 5 men tied to this track. Should you push and kill the fat man? Well, that is the question of today's video. Should you in fact kill and push the fat man? Here's me going through this thought experiment. Hi. Right, so the trolley problem, a lot of people say that if you're the one who's doing the killing, then that's wrong, even if you are saving more people. I think generally speaking, people take the utilitarianism perspective and say, oh, you save more lives by killing 1 person, but of course then you're directly killing 1 person. Then other people would say, you're not actually directly killing them because somebody else put them in the scenario to begin with, and then that gets into the whole issue of what is actually killing somebody. If your choice leads to a person's death, is that killing them or not? If somebody else put them in the scenario to die, but your choice is the thing that kills them, it's like jigsaw traps or whatever. Is it your fault that they die if you kill them, or since you were kind of put in a position where it was kill them or be killed, even though it wasn't them attacking you anyway? Yes, should you kill the fat man? I believe this is, instead of pulling a lever, it's should you push a fat man off of a bridge to stop the trolley. So it's like a step further of pulling the lever. It's like you actually have to push a fat man off of a bridge onto the tracks, and the fat man will stop the trolley, meaning that you saved the 5 people. Preliminary questions. This activity is a treatment of some of the issues thrown up by a thought experiment called the trolley problem, which was first outlined by the philosopher Philippa Foot and then developed by J.J. Jarvis Thompson and others. But before we start properly, we need to ask you 4 preliminary questions so we get a sense of the way that you think about morality. That goes for you as well. Feel free to play along. Question 1. Torture, as a matter of principle, is morally wrong. I have the feeling that torture is wrong. Kind of follow sort of ethical emotivism. So it's like I don't quite believe there's actual objective morality, but of course this says morality is always morally wrong, because you could argue, like, say somebody has gotten you, jigsaw style, against your will. It says, you've got to torture that guy, not to death, but you've got to torture him, or you die. Is it then fair to say that you're morally right to torture them, because otherwise you die? Or is that still morally wrong? And then it's like, okay, so take it a bit further. You torture this person, or you die, and they die. Then I think most people would say that it is morally right to torture them. So torture as a matter of principle is always morally wrong. I know that's a very reductive extreme, a reductio ad absurdum, if you will. I mean, I try to live by what you do gives permission for other people to do. So if you go around hitting people at random in the street, then that gives people permission to both go around hitting people at random in the street and to also hit you at random in the street. So as long as you don't go around randomly hitting people in the street, then it is fair to expect that nobody will randomly hit you in the street because you uphold that principle yourself. With that said though, I can still see a scenario where I might torture somebody, even if I upheld that principle of not torturing somebody for quite a while. I think I would uphold that, maybe more than most people. Not because I'm better than them, but because I think too much about it. I would sit there and ponder a lot. Although actually, when I do get into like scary scenarios and whatnot, and tough situations, I do just tend to go into like calm Zen mode, just like systematic and get things done. So maybe I would just go around torturing this guy. Anyway, I'm going to say no. Torture, as a matter of principle, is always morally wrong. I am not going to agree with it. It's not always morally wrong. None the least because I don't agree with that there is an objective morality to begin with, but also because there are extremes I think that most people would agree with and say that yes, it is morally okay to torture somebody in that scenario. So even though that those might be rare scenarios, that does mean that it's not always wrong. But is it practically always rare? We've done the question, it's fine. Question 2. The morality of an action is determined by whether it maximises the sum total of happiness of all the people affected by it compared to the other available options. So I mean, again, this is very utilitarian. Maximise pleasure, minimise pain. Does that determine morality? I don't think so. Do most people agree with utilitarianism to that degree? I don't know, maybe. Again, part of me feels, yes. I mean, this whole thing, go with your heart or go with your head. My head says no, my heart says yes. You know what? I went with my head last time, let's go with my heart this time, baby. Let's go with my heart. Question 3. It is always, and everywhere, wrong to cause another person's death, assuming they wish to stay alive if the outcome is avoidable. Again, this sort of like presupposes that there is an objective morality, which I don't think there is. There's a lot of people throughout history who have killed somebody else for their own personal gain when they didn't need to kill the person, who would say, actually, that's the right thing to do because it made my life better. Morally okay to do that? No, I don't think so. No. I think it's also worth mentioning universalism. The idea that if you cannot universalise an action, then well, it is sort of not like a valid one. You shouldn't do it. You pretty much universalise helping an old lady cross the street, and that's fine, but you can't universalise murder because everybody murdered everybody, then there would be nobody. So yeah, I thought that was worth mentioning, so I mentioned it. Again, well, I'm just going to say no. It's a pretty simple one now. It's just there is no. If it presupposes that there's an objective morality, and I don't believe in an objective morality, then I can't say yes to the question. At least without lying. Question 4. If you can save the lives of innocent people without reducing the sum total of human happiness, and without putting your own life at risk, you are morally obliged to do so, yes or no? Morally obliged to save innocent people without reducing happiness, without putting your own life at risk. Are you morally obliged? I wonder what I said in the last video, because there were similar questions, because right now I'm leaning... I mean, I feel yes, but of course I think no. Because again, there's no real morality, so you can't be obliged, by definition. You know what, again, I went with my head last time, my heart before that, my head before that. I'm going to do heart, head, yeah. Heart, yeah. Head, I can't speak. I'm going to say yes, even though it irks my brain. You will now be presented with 4 different scenarios to test your moral intuitions against the answers you gave to the first 4 questions. The brakes of the train that Casey Jones is driving have just failed. There are 5 people on the track ahead of the train. There is no way that they can get off the track before the train hits them. The track has a siding leading off to the right, and Casey can hit a button to direct the train onto it. Unfortunately, there is one person stuck on the siding. Casey can turn the train, killing one person, or he can allow the train to continue onwards, killing 5 people. Should he turn the train 1 dead, or should he allow it to keep going 5 dead? Again, I outlined some of the arguments. Some people would say that if you insert yourself into the scenario by actually pressing a button, then you are causing the death of one person. Is it worse to let something happen, but there's more suffering, or to directly kill one person, but there's less suffering? I'm going to turn the train. Good. Your response that Casey Jones should divert the train is consistent with your belief that the measure of morality is the extent to which it maximises happiness of the greatest number of people. Let's see how you get on with the scenario. This is already open, so I don't actually think that. I don't actually think that, but I feel it. Okay. Marty Bakerman is on a footbridge above the train tracks. He can see that the train approaching the bridge is out of control, and that it is going to hit 5 people who are stuck on the track just past the bridge. The only way to stop the train is to drop a heavy weight into its path. The only available heavy enough weight is a very fat man, who is also watching the train from the footbridge. Marty can push the fat man onto the track into the path of the train, which will kill him but save the 5 people already on the track, or he can allow the train to continue on its way, which will mean that the 5 will die. Should he push the fat man onto the track, 1 dead, or allow the train to continue, 5 dead? So of course, the numbers are the same. The amount of suffering is the same as in the first scenario. But I suppose now you're going to have more mental suffering, because you've not watched, and you've not just pulled a lever or pushed a button, but you've gone over and gone, "You fat man," and pushed him onto the fucking track to kill him. Is that a meaningful difference? It feels like a meaningful difference to me, maybe not to some people, but it feels like one to me. So now I guess the thing is that you have to bring in your own suffering on this one, because you're going to have to deal with the fact that you literally have pushed this man, killed him. He wasn't going to die. He wasn't tied up by somebody else. So it's not like you've picked the best of a few bad options, but somebody else is to blame for killing him at the end of the day. It's not like that. Another difference is that this isn't orchestrated like before. In the previous one, somebody orchestrated it, somebody's tied people to the tracks, so the amount of blame that you could put on yourself for killing the person is shifted onto somebody else, because they're the one that tied the person to the track to begin with. Whereas with this, you're the one killing, you're choosing, you're going, that fat man who is not involved, I'm going to push him on that bridge, or push him off that bridge, sorry, even though he wasn't involved to begin with. So now you've got to deal with your suffering for being the pure reason why that man's dead. You have killed him. Does that change how you would answer the question? Because a lot of people would like to believe that, I'll take the burden of suffering to know that I've saved those people. I'll take the burden of suffering for killing that person because I've saved them. But a lot of people go, I don't want to fucking kill a guy. I don't want to kill him. I don't want to fucking kill him. So even in theory, a lot of people might say, yeah, push him. If you were actually put in the scenario, would you actually do it? Or would you be like, God, I'm not killing a guy, I'm not killing a guy. Again, it's feelings. Actually, not only are you going to have to deal with your own suffering of pushing the fat man and directly killing him, more directly than pulling the lever or pushing the button, you're also going to have to deal with the repercussions of going to prison for murder. Like, by law, that's still murder. You are going to jail for that. Again, this is feelings though. I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it, and I wouldn't want to deal with the repercussions. I think that does sway it enough for me. I would not want to deal with that. Hello.
Hi. Wanna go for food?
Yeah, we can go for food. Yeah.
Where do you wanna go?
Where was there was another pizza place that we said last time when we got Papa John's. We said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you. I'll come to yours and then get in my car and then we'll go somewhere.
Yep.
I don't know if I'll be open, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright.
Right. I'll see you in a bit.
Right, in a bit, mate. Guess I'm getting pizza after this. Allow the train to continue, don't kill Fat. Right. Previous research indicates that most people agree with you that the Fat Man should not be thrown off the bridge. Okay, so this scenario is identical to the preceding scenario, but with one crucial difference. This time Marty Bakerman knows with absolute certainty that the Fat Man on the bridge is responsible for the failure of the train's brakes. Upset by the train fare increases, he sabotaged the brakes with the intention of causing an accident. As before, the only way to stop the train and save the lives of the 5 people already on the track is to push the Fat Saboteur off the bridge into the path of the train. Should Marty push the Fat Saboteur onto the track, one dead or allow him to continue firing. So again, same numbers, same repercussions, because you are going to get done for murder, but you're going to personally suffer less for killing this guy. See, like, he kind of, because you might think he kind of deserves it, you know. He's directly gone out of his way to kill these people, and then he's going to watch. You know, he's gonna, oh yeah, I'm going to kill these people. Let me watch. I mean, in the same way that a lot of people have gone out and killed paedophiles and rapists and whatnot, a lot of people don't hold them to the same standard of murderer for killing that person as they would somebody else. Again, though, would I personally want to suffer those repercussions? Get thrown in jail? There is just a part of me that's fuck you, fucking trying to kill these people, fucking push them off. I'm allowing the train to continue. I'm not going to go out of my way to kill this guy. Your response that it would not be right to throw the saboteur off the bridge shows that you do not think that his responsibility for the failure of the train's brakes is reason enough to end his life. No, that's not. No. No, it just shows that I don't want to murder somebody and have the repercussions of murdering somebody. That's all it shows. I literally said the opposite. I said, actually, I've kind of had the urge to go, push him off, fucking kill him. So no. That's not the reason. The Fat Man, having avoided being thrown in front of the runaway train, has been arrested and is now in police custody. He states that he has hidden a nuclear device in a major urban centre, which has been primed to explode in 24 hours' time. The following things are true. 1. The bomb will explode in 24 hours' time. 2. It will kill 1 million people if it explodes. 3. If bomb disposal experts get to the bomb before it explodes, there's a chance it could be defused. 4. The Fat Man cannot be tricked into revealing the location of the bomb. It is not possible to appeal to his better nature, nor is it possible to persuade him that he was wrong to plant the bomb in the first place. 5. If the Fat Man is tortured, then it is estimated that there is a 75% chance that he will give up the bomb's location. If the Fat Man does not reveal the location, the bomb will explode and 1 million people will die. There is no other way of finding out where the bomb is located. Should the Fat Man be tortured in the hope that he will reveal the location of the nuclear device? So, I mean, on one hand, do you have the right to torture him? Do you have the right to infringe on his right to not be tortured? Or does his right to not be tortured go out of the window when infringing on other people's rights, basically? I think by law, at least to some degree, or at least in some circumstances, that is the case. Personally, I think, yeah, talk to the Fat Man. Talk to the Fat Man. Fucking torture. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. The response that the Fat Man should be tortured is consistent with your view that torture is not always wrong. It also makes sense in terms of other responses you have given. For example, you think that the morality of an action is determined by the extent to which it maximizes it. No, actually, I don't actually agree with that. It is certainly possible to argue that torturing the Fat Man is justified. In these terms, if it prevents or there is a good reason. You know what? Strip all this away. I just want to fucking torture someone. I just want to. You just sat there and watched me eat a fucking banana for no reason. For no reason. Do with that information what you will.